haven't joined. So hello and welcome everyone to FASA's virtual networking event. Welcome to those who are here for the very first time. Nice to have you today. I think we have a visitor from Botswana here today. And then thank you to everyone who's back here again. Your support is very much appreciated. These events are open to both members and non-members, giving you the opportunity to meet people in business as well as franchising and to grow and expand your network. I'm Romany Thresher, the organizer and the host of this event. So before we get started, we just have a couple of announcements. Feedback surveys functions as a voice on a particular product, service, company, or industry, which brings me to the franchise survey. Thanks to ABSA for sponsoring the franchise survey, the 2023 franchise survey, which will be launched at the Road to Recovery Franchise Conference, giving us information on what's been taking place in the franchising sector. And this information also assists FASA and key stakeholders to motivate and lobby with government, especially in the area of franchise education and implementing the franchise code and being the representative body in the franchise industry. The franchise survey also provides businesses with data-driven insights which can support franchise businesses in their strategic planning and decision-making and overall operational improvements. FASA will be hosting the Road to Recovery Franchise Conference on the 26th of October, where the results will be discussed in more detail. There is a discount on the early bird discount at the moment before the 5th of September. So if you would like to attend that conference in Gauteng, please get your bookings in early. FASA started hosting breakfasts around the country. Why can't I find my next button? FASA started hosting breakfasts around the country. The next one is in Polokwane on the 31st of August. That's fully booked. And then the next one is on the 28th of September in Boksburg. These events are fully booked quite quickly. So if you're interested in attending on these events, please send me an inbox and I'll send you an invite. Ava, I know about your request to attend that event. FASA's Golf Day is taking place on the 22nd of September. It is fully booked already, the 4 balls, and I think Shireen is looking for hole sponsors. So if you're interested in sponsoring a hole at the FASA event, Golf Day event, please contact Shireen. So look out for announcements in our newsletters, on social media, and about events that you'd like to attend and get them booked in. If you're looking to recruit franchise staff or franchisees or looking for funding, training and development in franchising, FASA's partner Inani specializes in training and the development of differently abled persons and previously disadvantaged, and can also assist you with franchise expansion and support in new franchisee funding and support. There are plenty of opportunities for members to get involved in and to participate in, but it's up to you to get involved. What you put in is what you get out, like FASA's virtual networking events where we come together once a month so that we can share ideas, connect and get to know each other. Our next event is on the 21st of September. Mark the date in your diary. This will be covering some of the elements of the conference on the 21st of September if you'd like to attend that event. So today our guest speaker unfortunately had to cancel, and so we're going to open up the floor with a group discussion. We've had to improvise, so it's going to be nice change and a difference to see how we can do things differently as well. Before we start with the introductions, we've got a short video for you to watch so that the event can run smoothly.
FASA and its partners host regular events giving you the opportunity to establish yourself as a thought leader or an industry expert, which enhances your reputation and credibility within your professional community. Networking can potentially introduce you to your next customer, business partner, supplier, consultant, franchisor, or franchisee. Networking is the process of building relationships with people in your field, and it's an essential skill for anyone who wants to succeed in business. Use networking as a bridge to connect and to gain valuable information about the people and the franchise industry. Networking can also help you stay on top of someone's mind. 74% of consumers identify word of mouth as a key influencer in their purchasing decisions. Use networking events to raise brand awareness and then connect further on social media. Just a reminder that these sessions are recorded and may be published on FASA's website and shared on social media channels to feature FASA members and this event. These networking events are for sharing ideas, to connect and to network. You are responsible for doing your own due diligence on information shared at these events and the people you meet here. Should you wish to share contact information with attendees, please share your details in the chat box. Every networking event is an opportunity for you to spread the word, so for best results, come prepared. When introducing yourself, make sure that your camera is turned on and make sure that you are in the center of the screen. Announce your name and surname, your company and location, and what you offer to customers. Then use the icebreaker questions to share something related to you or your business. After the speaker sessions, we will have questions and answers. Use this opportunity to ask your questions. We will also ask some of you to share your golden nuggets. In other words, what stood out for you in today's session. This is another opportunity for you to raise brand awareness, building the like, know, and trust factor. Word of mouth is still the most powerful way to market your business, so give people something to talk about. Before the breakout rooms, we will ask you to complete a short survey. We will post the link in the message box when we close the event with breakout rooms. It's now time to start with the introductions.
So thank you. I wanted to mention to everybody as well that when you're in this room, use this opportunity to also afterwards, when you get to know people, go and connect with them on LinkedIn. That's how you get to expand your network, get to learn more about each other. I try and make an effort to always try and connect with people on LinkedIn that I do not know or have met here for the first time. So if you're on LinkedIn, you can please connect with us, follow us on FASA. So today we're going to do the introductions. If you wish to introduce yourself, please use the, the reactions button where you raise your hand to let us know that you'd like to introduce yourself. If you can't figure that out, which I understand, you can just leave your camera on and let us know that you wish to introduce yourself. So I'm just going to get started with my little introduction, which is what Steve Jobs says, that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do. These are the people that I'm crazy enough to work with, because I too believe strongly that it is possible to change the world. And so I work as a digital entrepreneur, and I love to mentor and consult and coach professionals and decision makers on how to build a digital footprint on the internet focused on brand awareness and lead generation. So I'm going to hand over to Fred, who will introduce himself, and then we will start with the room. I just also want to share that today, remember to announce your name, your surname. I just want to get that screen up for everybody. Your name, your surname, where you're located, your company, and what value you offer. So today we've had to improvise. So the discussion, we're going to just talk about a little bit about business leadership, resilience, how we can turn the country around in terms of what we can do as business leaders today. Right, so over to you, Fred. I'm just going to put you on the screen. Just give me a moment. And I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. Fred, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fred Mahato. We are located in Midrand, Johannesburg. The company is Franchise Association of South Africa. I'm more of a host. So for those who don't know me, I can see Nolwazi is laughing.
Well, on that note, then we hand over to Nolwazi. I'm going to pin Nolwazi quickly. Just give.
Hi, morning everyone. My name is Nolwazi Ngadi. I am an associate at McRoberts Attorneys. I work in the Franchise and Entertainment Law Division. We basically assist clients with drafting franchise agreements, advice regarding franchise agreements, or any disputes that arise as a result of franchise agreements, as well as just general advice on franchises. Yeah, Romany, did you want me to delve more into the topic now or a bit later?
We can all share maybe a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Well, that's me.
Okay, so then we'll hand over to Dominique. Let me just get you on the screen. Give me a moment. Just to remove Nawazi. There we go. Dominique. We can't hear you, your audio.
There we go. Hi, my name is Dominic Wardle. I'm the sales and marketing manager for Fuel Online, which is a Cape Town-based supplier of digital training solutions. We operate in 29 countries and deliver training in 7 languages. Our clients include Engine, Sasol, Honda, and Ackermans, amongst others. And we provide fully managed, customized solutions, as well as support for existing training programs with specific services such as content creation, LMS development, learner support, hardware provision, software integration, and management of your training academy. I'm here because franchise businesses are a perfect fit for online training. So hopefully we can help some of you take your training to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dominique. And that will be a good question for everyone. What brought you here today? So let's hand over to...
I see
Yes.
Dr. James Sense is up.
Yes. So Priyesh. Just hold on, Priyesh. Let me just get you on the screen.
You.
Go.
Thanks, Romani. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Priyesh Patel. I'm the head of sales, strategic sales at a company called PRP Solution. Effectively, what we do in a nutshell is what we call workforce management. So this is all aspects in terms of managing your employees, from the starting point being onboarding all the way up to the time and attendance to effectively paying them. So we provide some solutions in terms of that, the system that we've built ourselves that's cloud-based. In terms of that, I think in terms of Romani's question, what's drawn me to this meeting? I've missed a few, Romani. I'm sure you've noticed that. It's been crazy on my side, but yeah, I think franchise is still a key sector in our business. You know, we've got some existing clients. I think there's 1 or 2 that might even be on this call. You know, we've seen that it's, you know, one of the sectors that we can provide a lot of value, particularly for new entrants coming into the market or existing entrants, you know, in terms of just optimizing and providing them with digital tools. So it's always great to network, meet everybody on this call, and then obviously embark and, you know, share advice and take it from there going forward. Thanks, Romani.
Thank you, Priyesh. James.
Romani, FASA members and friends, good morning. I'm Dr. James Liddell from Lifestyle Clinic and Philippolis Retreats, and I'm working on a leadership retreat for 2024 September. I see more and more business people / leaders that are so stressed and so depressed and so anxious, and they just pop antidepressants and tranquilizers and those stuff, and it is absolutely not a solution for the long term. If I do risk analysis on these patients, I can see that within 2 years, they are highly likely of having a stroke or a heart attack or any other fatal disease. So watch the space for September 2024. I do believe that I have a plan to empower our leaders so that they can cope with their challenges and lead this country to be a prosperous country for all. Thank you, Romani. Dr. James Liddell, Lifestyle Clinic and philippolisretreats.com.
Thank you, James. All right, who is next? Let's have a look. I think Tabo. Tabo, I'm just going to add you on the screen. Do you have your camera with you? Let's just hold on. I just want to get you on the screen there. I'm doing something wrong here. Here we go. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Morning, everyone. My name is Thabo Matebula. I'm from Stock Lovers, Pty Ltd. We assist in skills development to the big cooperatives within your sector. So we will assist you in terms of submitting your work skills planning, as well as your annual training report within the sector of your company, as well as participating within the relevant SETA in terms of a discretionary grant so that you can have a capacity in your organization, as well as getting the discretionary grant from the SETAs. Thank you so much.
And what brought you here today, Tabo? Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to hand over to Roz. I see your camera's on. Let's just get you on the pin and do that quickly. There we go. Over to you, Roz.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. I still can't figure out how to raise my hand, so I'm just going to wait as we go through the meeting. Okay, it doesn't give me that option for some reason. My name's Roz Sandham, and I'm from the Franchise Training Co. We specialize in training for franchisees in business acumen and also franchisor staff. So the franchisor staff that go and support the franchisees, there's a whole set of skills that they need in order to be successful in those roles and really add value. And that's what we specialize in. We do operational finance, and we do managing franchisee performance. And you can check out our website if you'd like to have a look and see the full range of courses. And then we also do a lot of training material development for clients. So if people have a great ops manual, but they haven't actually put it into training yet, we do that. And we also have an online platform that we can load stuff on for the use of our various clients. And what brought me here today is, I think last time I really enjoyed the conversation. And so it's really just to connect with other people and hear what's going on in the industry, because as a training company, it's important that, we know what's happening out there. So thank you very much.
Very true. It is important. We have to keep abreast of new and future trends. What is your website address?
It's it's the franchisetrainingco.com. I'll put it in the chat box.
Okay, thank you. Right, Ava, nice to see you back again.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. My name's Eva August. I'm in the real estate industry, always have been. I work for the franchisor of Century 21 South Africa. It's an international real estate franchising company. And my role here is operational support to our offices and franchise development across the country. Why am I here? It's much more fun doing this than my normal day-to-day admin meetings, chaos, and I love meeting new people. So thank you.
That's a very good reason. That's a nice one. Yeah, it's a good investment, eh?
It is.
And then I'm going to hand over to Chris. I see there's two. There's a Christian and a Chris. So Christopher. Just give me a moment.
Hi.
I just want to remove Ava. Hi, Christopher. Don't know if you've got a camera.
Hi, good morning. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Excellent. So I'm Chris Legransi. I'm a provincial manager for Standard Bank in the franchising space. So why am I here today? It's an excellent opportunity to hear what's hot and what's new and to engage with everyone. And looking forward to the session, and thank you for the great initiative, everyone.
Thank you. Christian.
Hello, can you hear and see me okay?
Yes, we can. Just give me a moment to remove the pin. Over to you.
Super. So I'm from the software or software development background, and in our company we've developed an app called Yum Deals, which basically connects restaurants with dental clients and helps restaurants to do those loyalty programs. So we've started rolling it out here in the Western Cape. That's where we're based. But obviously our reach is quite limited in that regard. And so what we are considering at the moment is to develop a franchise business around this product, and to engage new franchisees in different parts of the country, and from our perspective, this is an information gathering exercise. So we don't know anything about franchising and so forth. So yeah, so we're here to learn.
It's a good reason. Very good reason. Good place to learn. Thank you for joining us. Theo and Maxwell, I don't know if you would like to introduce yourself. I don't see your hand. Natalie, if you can just let me know. And then I think we've got James who came on. I thought I saw James somewhere. James Noble. Hold on, James. Let me just get you on the screen. There we go. Hi, James.
Hi, morning everyone. Yeah, thanks for being here. I think I'm wearing two hats today. First of all, as a FASA board member, so making sure that you're doing your work on this side, Fred and team. And I think then secondly, I represent ABSA. I'm responsible for the wholesale retail franchise team. We provide end-to-end financial solutions, whether you're starting up a business, growing your business, and if you expanding, or whether your business has matured and maybe you're looking at exiting your business or your franchise business. And I think then also very importantly, there's three different levels then also that we look at. We look at the employees of the business, the owner of the business, and then very importantly also the business itself and all the financial solutions that goes along with that. So yeah, that's a bit about me. Thanks.
Thank you, James. Right, and then I'm going to hand over to Maxwell. I just want to find you on the screen, Maxwell. Just give me a moment. Maxwell, where are you? There you go. Over to you, Maxwell. Just unmute yourself and you can put on your camera if you want to.
Good morning. Apologies, I had some audio issues. My name is Maxwell Songwane. I'm a founder and a director of an accounting firm called M&H Chartered Accountants. The reason why I'm here, I'm looking for clients, and I also have a lot of interest in the fuel retail space. So I just wanted to get some updates on the Franchise Association of South Africa, of any new insight and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Maxwell, and thank you for joining us. I see Theo also. Theo was chatting to me earlier, also interested in franchise opportunities, wanting to meet franchisors. I'm not sure if Theo hasn't got his hand raised. All right. So I think I've gone through everybody who would like to introduce themselves. I don't see anybody else's hand raised up. And today I thought we would, well, because we've had a bit of a change of schedule, that we start the discussion based on last month, because it started with business resilience. And one of the things that Richard mentioned in last month's discussion was how the government has sort of created a culture of dependency. And so as business leaders, we believe that we can influence change. And so how can we do that? And I thought this is how we could open up the discussion today, just to talk about how we as citizens can and business leaders can contribute towards improving South Africa, because I think at the heart, many of us want a better South Africa. We love this country, and we want to make it a country that works and thrives. So I'm going to hand over to Fred, who will open up that discussion.
Thank you, Romani, and thank you everyone for joining us. And I think this is one of the most important session for us, because we are going to engage as a group. And I think from the FASA side, we just need to understand what the role of FASA is, because there seems to be confusion about what is the role of FASA. The role of FASA, or let's talk about the mandate, because times have changed. When the association was established in 1979, the basic mandate was to promote ethical franchising. And so that rogue element could be isolated and be identifiable to potential franchisees and suppliers. But over time, and I think I'll just go back to 2020, because I joined the association in 2021. The board had a strategic session where they considered the strategy of FASA. And two of the important aspects that came out of that session was transformation. And I think that speaks a lot about what is it that we want to do as businesses within the franchise space. When I engage with some of our partners, just to understand and appreciate the landscape and the operating environment, one of the biggest issues that came through was that the franchise industry is not transformed. It doesn't cater for other entrepreneurs who want to get into the space. It's preventative due to other conducts. For example, one of those was funding. That how funding is structured is prohibitive in nature. Then the other issue was contribution towards job creation, because I think the industry and the board were aware that we have massive unemployment rate, and how best to grow businesses than creating investment opportunities that will create job opportunities. So it's more of tit for tat. Then we took that position and say, how then are we going to deliver on the mandate? We then identified, if I could put it, pilot stakeholders. One was to look at what is it that affects the businesses not to grow, especially franchise businesses, because franchisors are in the business of selling franchises. So what is it that affects the majority of our members who struggle to get franchisees on board and grow their businesses? One was the skill set. You have people who have money, who want to invest in franchise businesses, but they don't have the necessary experience and knowledge about how to run a franchise. And someday you want to use a franchise business as a side business, as a side hustle in the modern language. But then in order to deal with the issue of unemployment, there must be a mass scale of how many should buy into the franchise businesses. Then we looked at the issue of how do we get especially young and women entrepreneurs to get into the space. Then we had to look at areas where we can access and source training and development for those. We then approach SETA as the agency that is mandated to develop and upskill anyone who wants to get into business who have their businesses. Then we also looked at our members' banks, because they also have enterprise development. But then we managed to bring along and really get Inani involved in our programs, because Inani has been involved since 2011, but I think we didn't see much of attraction. Then we brought them closer and said, as the association, we need to take the issue of training and development serious. We need to put programs in place. And hence now we approach SETA. We have prepared an MOU with an implementation plan. And we also looked at the issue of formal training in terms of a module. Rose will testify to that, and James as a board member also will agree to that, that now we are waiting for SAQA to finalize the franchise manager occupational training course. The purpose of all those efforts is to get individuals trained, understand how to operate a franchise business. That will make it easier then for those guys to buy into existing business, because I believe that they become bankable. Somebody with knowledge who has engaged with the franchisor, the franchisor is happy with that person and they have a means or a structure of how to fund the business, then it becomes easier because the person has the knowledge, has the information, and knows when they are looking and get more information as they go along. Then the second part is, how do we then unlock funding opportunities? Because one of the issues that I think I came across was the unencumbered cash issue, which I think by its nature, if you want to impact a larger group of people to enter the market, we have to understand our historical background, especially economic participation, in that the majority of people went having access to economic participation. So building up of security is a major issue, especially building up more funds to invest. So we need now to engage with our members who are the banks, but we are also going beyond that. We are saying we have the Department of Small Businesses that has the tools, that has the resources. You have CEDA who provides with the tools, then we have CIFA that provides funding. But what we also say to our members is to say, soon we will be calling you into a workshop to say, these are the opportunities that we have created. Now it's up to you to take advantage of that. So I think now we are at a stage where since 2022, we've been working on the ground, if I could put it that way, to put systems in place where now when our members come on board, they come on board where they have to take advantage of the opportunities. So we are at that stage where I think our members should be able to grow their businesses, but then they have to become active. And I've always said to our new members who come on board, and Priya will also testify to that, that becoming a member as a supplier, you don't just become a member, you get the certificate, you stay at the corner and expect the association to bring clients to you. You have to work, you have to engage, you have to expose your brand to the members and everybody who's in the space. So I think I appreciate him now since he got the chance to attend. But I think that we need to see members involved in the activities of our association. And Romani, you'll remember, this is my call every year in and out, that I would love to see our members participate in the activities that we bring on board. It may be a request for information, data, or whatever. That also helps because it assists us in driving the strategy for their benefit. So I think that is what we are working on. The conference is coming up. We have created a nice package for members. So they have to take advantage and be the forefront in terms of booking, because it will be not nice to see non-members occupying 80% of the conference, and members who are supposed to get more information and more knowledge from the speakers that we have sourced don't get that information. I think we should have time to gain the benefits from our membership. We have also now opened up the space for franchisees to come on board, because we believe that they also have a need to be able to manage and run their businesses, but also to grow their portfolios as well. So I think for us, we are at a stage where we are able to claim that now we can grow the association and the members' businesses. I thank you.
Thank you, Fred. And yes, and that's one of the reasons we host the networking events, so that we can get to know you people a lot better. It makes a huge difference, especially when we want to share information or, kind of help people along. Right, so today is about also building...
Maybe just one thing. I would like to invite Dr. James to give me a call after the session. The program that is having, we are at a stage where we are engaging with one member about wellness programs. So I think we may even have to find how you get into that system.
Thank you, Fred. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to Roz and to Nolwazi after that, also to just share some of the key takeaways from last month's session, because right now I think we're at a crossroads. The world is at a crossroads where people need to decide who they're going to support, who they're going to align with, and a lot of it comes down to culture, what we believe in, and who do we support. So even from a networking position, I feel that, I build resilience in the networking space, because that's where we get to share knowledge, we get to share ideas, and we get to know people. So we get to know each other, because different people, birds of a feather flock together, as they say. So I'm going to hand over to Roz, who's going to share her thoughts on what she took away from the event last month.
Thanks, Ramini. So I think last month's session was amazing, and I've actually connected with Richard after the session that he had, and we spoke a lot about the importance of culture in organizations and how that impacts everything that you do. And I kind of also want to link it to what Fred was just talking about now, because I think what happens a lot of the time in organizations is that they will onboard people and they teach them all the technical skills. They teach them how to make a great burger, or how to service a car, or how to do whatever they do, but they don't teach them how to run their businesses. And the whole culture thing is part of that. Like, how do I get inducted into what the values, what the mission, what the culture is of the business? And so it's really important that besides the technical stuff that people are being trained when they onboard a new franchisee, they need to understand the culture, but they also need to understand other elements of the business, how to market, all the human resources stuff that goes with it. Because often new franchisees will really be coming from corporates, or some lucky ones have inherited a lot of money. Then they don't have to worry about the funding. Those are few and far between. But without the skills that they need to run the businesses effectively, like financial management, etc., they end up losing. I've seen in my career, because I've worked on the franchisor side for many years, I've seen so many people lose their pension funds, lose their inheritances, because they aren't really brought into the business fully, and they don't actually understand how to run the business from every angle. And so I think, yes, it's about aligning that. And also with regard to the culture, you don't want to be, some people have very specific beliefs and ways of doing things, and so do businesses. And so if you find that you go into a business where your values or your kind of background doesn't align with what they're doing, that also causes massive conflict in that relationship. And so I do think that's what we can do, to drive the whole franchise industry forward, is to make sure that we, allow people to be supported when they take that risk and invest in a franchise, and make sure that because there are still fly-by-nights I've heard last week about someone who was selling franchises that doesn't even have a basic operations manual, and you can't do that, but it's still happening. And so we just get a bad rep in the industry at the end of the day, in business, as franchising. And so the more we can do to formalize it and get that recognition, the better for everyone, in my opinion. And I think that's it.
Nice. Thank you, Roz. I agree. I think the more that we get to do those things, I think it will help people along the way as well. And also things like emotional intelligence. I think we've run a world where things were very hard and harsh, and, it's all about results, and people weren't given the opportunity to make mistakes. And I think that also needs to, I think we need to shift that mindset a bit and not have these big expectations on people.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think that that whole relationship is so key, where people understand that when you're working with franchisees, they're not your employees. And so you have to deal with them in a very different way. You are essentially business partners, and the better they do, the better you're going to do. And so that's why it's important to make sure that you kind of see each other as one business, not the franchisees are over there and I'm the franchisor over here, because that never works in the long run.
Good point. Good point. If anybody has any questions, please raise your hand. You're welcome to ask questions. I'm going to hand over to Nolwazi, And then for Ava, perhaps to share, and also Chris Lagrange, who was at the last session, that I'm just going to pin Nawazi.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to say is going to be pretty similar to what Ross said, but when Richard was speaking, I was quite drawn to the culture aspect of his presentation. And I know this is a hollow sentiment and everyone rolls their eyes, but in some senses, an organization can be compared to a family, just in the sense that an organization needs to have a set of values as an underlying guideline for every decision that's made. So from the intern to the CEO, if everyone buys into the culture that's based on those values, you're already a few steps ahead of most businesses. And I think when you're running a business, there's so many moving parts. And in this economy, a lot of businesses are struggling to keep their heads above water. So actively building business resilience is the last thing on people's minds, especially newer companies that have been heavily impacted by the financial climate of the last few years. So I was also reflecting on the golden circle principle that Richard was speaking about, that was created by Simon Sinek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So the why and the how and the what. And I think that it's something that's a relatively simple way to instill the values in an organization, to be able to say we are working towards this common goal. So instead of like day-long workshops and company getaways, it might be more efficient and cheaper, definitely, for your organization to just understand why you do what you do and how you do it, and obviously what it is that you do. And Richard mentioned the importance of repetition. So, I mean, this is a very simplistic example. So having a poster in the office that just says clearly and concisely why, how, and what. So we want to improve the lives of others. We do it by designing good quality prostheses. And then the what is we sell prosthetics. We want to empower people by making them confident. We do it by making products in different shades and things like that. We sell makeup. So something that's easy to remember, even when things are really busy. It's something that stays in someone's head. So it sort of automatically allows for collaboration within the organization, because we all know what the common goal is. And I think every organization can benefit from boiling it down to the why and the how and the what. So franchises, other kinds of business, governments, NGOs, I think that if you just have those core values and everyone understands it, it is a difficult thing to do in the current economic conditions. No one cares about why they join a company. They join it because they need a job. But then to circle back, if you've hired someone, they're probably the right fit, which means they can be brought into the culture, learn the culture, and then understand those values and then work towards them. That was sort of my takeaway from Richard's talk.
Thank you, Nawaz. Nice. Yeah, there's some key nice thoughts that's coming through. I think there is that survival mode mentality out there, and we kind of forget that there's other aspects in our lives. So we just kind of go with the survival, just get the money in so that you can, pay the bills. And somehow I think if we shift out of that mindset back to our values and and why we do what we do, you'll end up attracting all the things that you need in your life. Ava. Yes.
Hey, Romani.
Yes.
So Roz and Olwazi were definitely speaking my mind about reflecting back to last month. So, yeah, culture. We went through a massive national company-wide marketing audit, and we were looking at holes in our return on investment and our spending and how we deliver our messaging in the industry, in the real estate industry. And through smarter people, we decided to take a different approach to our brand in the marketplace. And we found that organically, with less financial investment, the market responded better to the humanity of our company, where we stopped talking about the products and services that we offer, and we started sharing information about who we are, who's the personality behind the brand, what do we do on a Friday afternoon, how do we celebrate Women's Month, Heritage Day, why do we exist, you know, the culture behind the people in the company. And it was a hard move to make, because as a global brand, what actually makes international brands really successful, one of the things is that it is static and it's faceless. And wherever you go, it's exactly the same. You know, McDonald's is the same wherever you go. But in a position where we are, where we're looking for a lot more growth and knowledge of us in the marketplace, we found that organically sharing the inside of our culture, we are getting a great response. And it was like, interesting, you know, as a big team, we can be ourselves and people still want to do business with us. And we've also gone through a lot of restructuring and looking at how to fit new people into our company. And it always comes back to culture. People do people with business, people they like. And I think at the core of that, for me, every time I heard Roz say something, you know, when Roz was talking about oftentimes the franchisor and the franchisees are seen as separate entities, and you work for me, and you know, whip the stick in order to get performance because it's what your franchise agreement says. It does not work. Roz is right. It's 100% based on relationships, long-term relationships. It is like a marriage, and empathy trumps competency. Every challenge, breach of contract, poor performance, everything can be addressed with empathy and the soft skills of holding each other accountable. And that's all culture, family environment, human beings. We will make mistakes, and how do we move forward? So it was a great session last month, and it will, you know, I've come across those principles that Richard and Simon Sinek had shared ongoing. I've done other leadership workshops since last month, and it's the same golden thread throughout all of that. It's maybe also be a lot more forgiving. There's no problem that doesn't have a solution. And yeah, it was great, really great. Bring that topic back again in the future. I lost you. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, my mute. Sorry, I had myself on mute. Yeah, thank you for sharing some good golden nuggets there. It's definitely social media 101 in training. Is when you do your marketing, you're supposed to talk about the people in the business, not about the products that you sell and the services that you offer. It's about your messaging. What is it that you stand for, you know, and sharing about the businesses and the people. And I know that Roz wanted to add something to the conversation. So Roz?
Just wanted to link onto both of what Eva and Olwazi said about the values thing. It so often happens that companies do have values, but all that it is a list of words on the boardroom, in the boardroom. And I've done so many exercises where I've been into companies and said to anyone in the business, what are the values? And even very senior people often actually don't know. So for me, it's about saying, if they're actual things, then people need to know what they are. And not only do they need to know what they are, but they need to know how to behave to support living those values. And a lot of companies, I know when I worked for McDonald's, we did an exercise like this where we actually, we used to make it part of the performance management system to say, how, you know, these are the values, what behaviors are linked to these values, like what do we want to see you doing? And people were actually weighted on that. Besides, you know, 20% growth in whatever, they were actually weighted on the behaviors that linked to those values. So I just think, I mean, I love that thing that Wazi said, you know, have something on a wall somewhere saying what, how, what, no, why, how, and what. But I also think it's important that you have, if the values are on the wall, what, you know, what does it mean? Is it a real, and is it alive in the business? Because that's ultimately, I think, what would drive the culture.
Nice, yeah, I agree. I like that wall idea because we do forget. I mean, I was even thinking about my voting strategy, you know, and my voting, when I vote, I should be taking my values to the voting poll, you know, because do these political parties align with the things that matter to me is one of the things that's come up. So Nawazi's raised her hand. If anyone's got any questions or would like to contribute to the conversation, Christopher, I think you were at the last month's event, if you'd like to share anything, and then if anyone's got any questions, James, if you'd like to contribute as well, go ahead. So I'm just gonna, Nawazi, just unmute.
I just wanted to add to what Roz was saying. There's something that Richard said last month. He said, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I think that that's an important thing to remember. And I have on my whiteboard, customers don't buy when they understand, they buy when they feel understood. So I think it's just a thing of remembering that you are servicing human beings, and human beings react to other human beings. Human beings work with other, we're very social creatures. So I think that you just, yeah, that's basically my thing, is that like Ross says, just empathy. And I think like if your company is led by empathy, I think you could go pretty far with that.
Agree, because we all make mistakes, don't we? Fred, you wanted to add?
Yes, I think last month association actually reminded me of my years back. And what Lonozia says is important, in that is more of a family. You know, every family has traditions. It's got principles. And that is why parents will always tell you that this is not how we do things here. So I think what our members and the delegates should know and understand about culture is that customers buy into something that you can not actually touch. You know, we actually buy into a feeling. When I walk into your site, what is it that I feel? I know some of the sites, if you go, is noisy, right? And you are on your lunch, you want a calm space where you can enjoy your meal, where you can talk to yourself. But you go into this site where everybody is screaming, the chefs, the cashiers, and everybody, and you feel like I cannot go here. There are some environments where you walk in, you just feel welcome before you could even say a word, just the setting. And there are environments where you go where you just feel like you are part of the environment without even knowing anyone there. So this is what we buy into. When we talk about culture, we talk about a value that builds your business but is not tangible. So I think this is what we need to understand. If you go, I'll give you a simple example of one of our members. I'll say KFC, because they've got branches throughout. You can go, you can drive into various KFCs, but in some instances, you'll find that you are at the wrong site, because either that group behaves differently from the other group. But I think the franchise system is in such a way that it should be uniform. You go into KFC in 4 ways, you'll find the very same environment, KFC in Sandton, in Marawastad, wherever. So I think it's where people like Ross come into the picture to say to franchisors, we are able to offer that service whereby we can sell your culture to your franchisees in a better way that they understand and appreciate, because that on its own is a gap. That is why you'll see some of the franchises don't do well. It is not because of they don't sell the great food, is because either the attitude of the staff at the entrance or at the tills means a lot. That's my input. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Also a nice one. I remember the days where you go to some of the restaurants and it's like a family-owned restaurant, and as you walk in the door, you actually feel that warmth, and the owner comes up and they introduce themselves, they come and check, and they sit with you at the table. Yeah, I like that. James, Dr. James, you wanted to share something? I don't know if Theo or Tabo wants to share any golden nuggets, takeaways, and Priyesh.
Thank you, Ramani. I just have a golden nugget, and change is inevitable and it's a constant. And we continuously have to adapt, adopt, and advance. And I think FASA is the perfect platform to advance because we have so many knowledgeable people in FASA that we have the tools to look at any challenge 360 degrees. So change is inevitable and we have to advance. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, James. Priyesh? Nothing. Okay, so nothing additional. All right, so any questions anyone has to have? Otherwise, we can open a floor for breakout rooms. For those who don't want to join in the breakout rooms, you can you can leave. Roz has got something to add to the conversation. Just letting you know, and then we can start the breakout rooms. I'm also going to share the link for the survey to let us know what you think about the events for today. These help us to make improvements. So please just take a few minutes to complete the survey, because your input helps me a lot to navigate the organization of these events. Thank you. So, Roz.
I just wanted to add one quick thing, and it was linked to what you were saying earlier, and a couple of people mentioned about how tough times are in business, and not to negate the fact that it is tough, but you said just now something about, like, you know, that whole positive attitude and how that is what you attract. And I'll never forget once when, I won't mention which supplier, but we went to visit a supplier when I worked for McDonald's again years ago, and it was during the recession in 2008, and in every single area that we walked through, they printed these big posters that said, "We are not participating in this recession." And I just thought it was such a lovely thing, because they said, like, yes, there's a recession, but it's not going to happen if you don't buy into it, you know. So I honestly think that those things are really powerful, and I just wanted to share that, because it's about that visual reminder to go, actually, things are tough, but I mean, I've had a fabulous year, you know, so things aren't tough for everyone. Yeah. Things are just, you know, it's all, I honestly believe it's all about, like, what you focus on and that's what you attract into what you're doing.
I like that. I like that. I think maybe we should all go and put that on. We're not in recession. I really like that. Yes, it also reminds me of, you just reminded me of Jim Rohn, which I quite like listening to every now and again. And he says, success is something you attract by the person you become. So it's who you become is the success that you will attract, not the other way around. You don't go chasing success. You have to become success in order to have it in your life. So I'm going to close off today's session for now, and those who don't want to stay behind to network in the breakout rooms, you're welcome to leave the session. Oh yes, and I forgot, I must share the link. And thank you everyone for making the time to join today. Again, it's just a reminder that this is an investment in yourself. Networking is a very important aspect of business, and it's where you really get to know the heart of people. So thank you for joining us today. Just grabbing the link for that. And there we go. Right, and so those who would like to stay behind, and I'll break you out into rooms. And those who joined today and would like to leave now, you can leave. Thank you very much. Give it a few minutes. And I've posted the link for the feedback survey. How many are we? 4, 8, 12. Exactly what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to split this up into 3 breakout rooms. And let's see where everybody lands. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are we in the same room, or wait, hold on. So Roz is over there. Theo, who are you joining? Not joined. Okay, so Theo, you in the room 2. Let's see, Axel, Dominique, Christopher. Yeah, if you'd like to join a room, you can just go into that room, which is room 2.
iPads
Okay,
into their service station staff rooms and service station.
Okay. No, that's great. That's great. And
Yeah.
how has the adoption been post COVID? I'll imagine that many of the people were forced, but probably maybe before then it was not something that people probably maybe thought that it's something that is important, the digital side of things. But how has the growth been like post COVID?
Yeah, I think all big companies have invested.
Businesses, any businesses.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people don't know where to start with an operations manual. And I think it's not a legal document, so it's difficult for us to say like this is the proper thing that you should be using because it's also bespoke. So yeah, I just wanted to
But I
find
do
out.
think my understanding is that that's I think it's in terms of the CPA or something that they actually have to have an ops manual.
Yeah.
Yes. And so in my association with Franchising Plus, we've almost got like a nice rotation. So we've got Franchising Plus that does the actual consulting on what you need to do to become a legal franchisor, so to speak. And then they work with a company called WordSparks, and they develop the ops manual, and then they send me the ops manual to do the training thing. So we're like a one-stop shop with 3 different entities, like 3 separate businesses. So, I mean, if you do have people that need ops manuals, you're welcome to just pop me an email and I can put you in touch with Leslie, who's our lady who specializes in that.
Yeah, no, that would be great. I think we've been struggling with that, how to draft an ops manual because
and it's the worst job. I've done it before. I actually did it for Engine at one point as well, and it's not the kind of work that I necessarily want to be doing. And Les actually also, she has an online platform called Herding Cats where she loads the ops manual. So it's not, these days you can't have like a massive ops manual that's a physical file. I mean, I can remember we had that in all the businesses that I worked in. It just sits on the side here and gathers dust. So her Herding Cats actually loads it on the internet, and then people can just log in, download forms and whatever they need. It's a very good system, yeah.
If there's nothing else.
Well, I'm interested to hear, Thabo. I heard you saying that you do skills development plans and submissions for clients. Do you also do training as such, or not really?
As for training, no. However, I also assist organizations or big corporates or the training providers to get accreditation to expand their scope.
Theo, are you still with us? You guys are finished over there. Okay.
Yeah, we're done. So I'm gonna say bye, I think.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.
No, pleasure. It was
Nice,
great.
nice conversation. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Yes, thanks, Roz. Take care.
Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Yeah.
Nice to have you with us, Tabo. I hope you got some value from today's session. You got on audio. You're muted.
No, thank you so much. I really got something to carry home. Thank you so much.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And I hope to see you again, back again next time.
I will do. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day then.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for today.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for joining and standing in.
Thank you. Okay.
Did
Bye.
you today's session?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. It was really informative. So thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Natalie.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Yes, Philip. Theo, you were interested in the fuel industry, and Dominique is part of that industry, and I see you've not joined the room. Hi, Maxwell. You can unmute.
I think we are done. I think this one was the first one for me. So yeah, I think we're just here to observe and just see how things are done. But thank you so much. It's always good to have this relevant information that then you can use, whether through for your clients and also for your business as well, because the plan is long term though, is to actually franchise this accounting practice as well. So I've been reading a lot on the franchise association side of things, just to know the standards that you need to be in, the manuals that you need to do, because I want to be able to duplicate it and have many of those ones basically.
Okay. Did you enjoy today's session?
So I didn't get that.
Did you enjoy today's session?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think my headphones keep on coming on and off. No, it was really great. I like the funding side of things. I think that was discussed on where they were saying that they've lowered that in unencumbered cash, because it's always, I think, the most difficult one for many, especially when you're starting, you know. Unfortunately, I've worked in one of these development finance institutions where I was just dealing with funding. So yeah, modeling and stuff. So I know how difficult it can be for someone that has a dream, but they don't have unencumbered cash, but they have the skill and they want to go in and run this companies or the franchise. Yeah, so it was really good. I'm definitely joining the next one. And tell me, the conference, is it just exclusively to members, or we can also join it?
No, members of the public can join.
Okay. No, thank you so much. Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
Thank you, Maxwell.
Okay, have a good one.
You too.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Christopher, did you enjoy today's session?
Oh,
Hi, did you enjoy today's session?
yes, I did. Like I said to my team in our breakway out room, to say for now, I'll just keep, anything under wraps, because I just don't want to diverge a lot, since this is going to be shared on social media. But other than that, I'm here to connect, I'm here to learn, I'm here to observe, and for my future acquiring of one of the franchises out there. Otherwise, I'll reach out privately to seek more and more of assistance and advice in any way. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you back again.
Hi, Christopher. Christopher.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? This is Fred Mahato. I don't know if you have my number.
Yes, I do. I do have all your contacts here.
Yes, so I think give me a buzz, because next week is
Absolutely.
very tight.
Okay.
I can assure you, next week is closed up. So I think maybe the week after the week of the 11th, give me a call, or you can send WhatsApp. We can chat. Then even if we don't have to wait until the call, but we can use WhatsApp to chat, so that we can give you more information. You understand what is franchising, how to go about it, and all that stuff, and see what is it that you have and how best we can help you.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Theo.
Here's
How are you?
MIA.
Theo.
I don't think Theo's audio is working or something, because I haven't been able to connect for some time. So I'm going to close the room, Fred. Thank you.